departing facility.
Sam, we've got a situation. The delivery for the research lab is ready for transport, but the chiral density is higher than anticipated. This may be due to the gatequake just now, but we've identified a new BT area in the vicinity of the lab. However, we have no BB pods on hand. I know you've got dooms, but without a pod, you're gonna struggle to determine exactly where the BTs are.
Don't worry, if I can get close enough, I should be able to see them. Seems like my dooms level or whatever went up at some point. Steer me in the right direction. I can take care of the rest.
Oh yeah? That's awesome. By the way, we finished a preliminary assessment of the BTs detected in the vicinity of the research lab. And we've prepared some weapons that should be effective against them. You're a pro. I know you can handle this. We've issued you a number of blood grenades. They use an active agent based on compounds derived from the blood and bodily fluids of Doom sufferers, making them highly effective against BTs. You can practice using them in VR training. If you'd like to try them out, just access the delivery terminal to get started. Your other weapons won't do any damage to BTs. Shoot them all you like. They won't die. Make sure you're well prepared. According to our initial survey, you can expect to encounter gazers in the field. If you make contact with a gazer, then another type of BT, a hunter will emerge from the tar and try to capture you. If they succeed in this, you'll come face to face with a massive BT known as a catcher. Now, you don't want to ever let a catcher consume you. It'll trigger a void out, obliterating the surrounding area and everyone in it. And when the dust settles, there'll only be a giant crater. So make sure to escape the catcher before that happens. Or use the weapons at your disposal to eliminate it. Alright, go ahead and pick up your next main order. I'll brief you on the details while you check your map.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter. Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
All right, Sam. You good to go? The new BT area we've identified is located in these ruins. If we don't do anything about it, eventually someone's gonna trigger a void out. So to prevent that, we need to neutralize all the BTs in this area. There's no shortage of collapsed buildings and hiding spots there, and the timefall isn't letting up anytime soon either. Since you'll also have cargo for the research lab with you, take care not to let it get damaged by the timefall or in any fights with BTs. An aid request for a timefall shelter was registered in that vicinity. If you build one near that spot, you can use it to escape any BTs that may be pursuing you. And if you stash your backpack in a timefall shelter, you can rest easy knowing your cargo's safe from the rain and devote your full attention to dealing with any threats. So if you got room to carry a little extra, consider requisitioning a PCC and taking it along with you so you can fabricate a shelter for added peace of mind. You're the only one we can count on. Don't let us down.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you. Take care of yourself, Sam. That's the spirit.
Take care.
Disengaging weapon
Bring it on!
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will... Commencing route creation. Delivery route. transporting this cargo is appreciated.
I will be gone tonight. Everything's done for a while, and I will be silent with you. In the fire, in the night, we will be dancing like ghosts. Every single night, I'll simply dancing like ghosts. Every single night, I'll simply dancing like ghosts. Every single night I see dancing with ghosts, dancing with
Good evening, Sam. ID confirmed. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is
Long time no see, Sam. Though, having said that, I realize you probably don't recognize me like this. Anyway, why don't you let me take a look at your orders? Don't see any major issues. Should be able to make use of it in this condition. We never doubted you'd show. Reliable as ever. A man you can count on. We're ready for you to link us up with your Cupid. Once you do, you'll have fulfilled your objective of bringing the entirety of Mexico onto the chiral network.
your current porter grade.
So, Sam, don't suppose you remember who I am? The name's Alex. I used to work at the weather station back in the UCA. I was a Bridges employee, reporting directly to Deadman. So, when I was offered the opportunity to collaborate with him here, studying the Death Stranding and BTs, I jumped at the chance, and here I am. And now, you're here too. You actually couldn't have come at a better time. Shortly before your arrival, chiral density levels started to climb, hitting significantly higher ranges than before. This kind of spike is indicative of an imminent giant BT appearance. I've shared with you some MP bullets that should be very effective against BTs. Because if a giant BT is on the way, then we're gonna need you to put it down. Chiral density levels in this region have been fluctuating wildly. We've been seeing a lot of gatequakes and seismic activity as well. It's almost certainly related to recent shifts in the tar currents. Our analysis of these anomalies has led us to believe that the arrival of a giant BT is all but imminent. What the data doesn't tell us is exactly where it might appear. Our chiral monitoring equipment just wasn't precise enough to zero in. Now that you've connected us to the network, though, we should be able to make more accurate predictions. We seriously owe you. It's hard to know when this giant BT is going to appear. So for now, you should rest up in your private room and prepare for a potential fight. That's both mine and Deadman's recommendation. We'll keep you posted, Sam.
It's been too long, Sam. You were a good friend to me. One I could never forget. Which is why I took steps to ensure that this message would only play upon your arrival. The sensors were set to scan for your biometric data. A simple enough trick. Now, this was originally a geophysics laboratory established for the study of earthquakes. And for that reason, it holds a wealth of documentation on gatequakes, tar currents, and placates. As well, I discovered, as research data on the other side. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I learned after I came to this place. Imagine that this is the lab. Though it's relatively close to the northern tip of South America, the continent is entirely cut off from us by a tar belt. And so we have no idea what's going on down there. Nor do we know the state of any continent other than our own. The researchers here were trying to establish contact with the rest of the world. They were well equipped to do so, as the facility had once been used to launch research satellites. So they tried launching a variety of probes and drones in the hope of obtaining observational data, with no success. The Earth, you see, is shrouded in a thick layer of chiralium that renders electronics inoperable at altitude. So they tried sending ships across the ocean. Oh, yes. Oh, but that failed too. The high concentration of chiralium in open water proved too corrosive, invariably causing them to sink. But then the researchers found some rather rare birds on their doorsteps. Birds not native to the region. Nice birdie, nice birdie. And that, my friend, was just the beginning. Not far from the lab, they discovered a strange anomaly. Well, the surrounding area was heavily contaminated with chiralium. Yes. This is beautiful. The researchers would later dub the anomaly a plate gate. But further investigation revealed that it came into existence when you began to expand the chiral network across North America, and that the gate grew larger in tandem with the network itself. What started as a tiny fissure in space became so much more. The researchers duly installed cameras to study the gate and its surrounding area. Now, to their surprise, they caught footage of some unusual marsupials. Yes, a kind you wouldn't expect to normally encounter in Central America, like the birds. But to confirm their suspicions, they sent an autonomous robot through the gate. The soil samples it collected were consistent with the archived geological data from the Southern Hemisphere. Not long after, several men and women came through the gate. They spoke English, and they confirmed that they had indeed come from faraway Australia. We finally knew the world outside North and Central America had survived. Ours was not the last bastion of humanity, but Australia had suffered the death stranding too. Undeterred, the researchers began working closely with Bridges and conducted a series of tests, paving the way for an expedition to Australia that would lay the groundwork for chiral network expansion. After they had first installed surveillance equipment, that is, so that the gate could be monitored from the Mexican side, a necessity to this day as Australia is not yet connected to the chiral network. The UCA may not have dreams of conquest and control, but they aren't about to let just anyone use the gate. Indeed, that's one of the reasons they were so determined to connect Australia to the network in the first place. Well, I suppose that's all I have to say about the plate gate. There's something else that I need to tell you, though. Something far more important. Mind if I pause it here? I have to go take a shower.
Gate quake detected. Sam, a gigantic BT just showed up outside. We're prepping weapons for you now. Access the terminal up top and take whatever you need. We're counting on you.
Manifestation imminent. Access the delivery terminal to make preparations for combat.
Sam, this is Alex. You did it! We've confirmed the chiral crystallization of the giant BT. Local chiral density is already dropping fast. I think we can all rest easy for now. You've saved a lot of lives by killing that monstrosity. We won't forget that. Head to the research lab's private room and take a break. You've earned it. Thank you so much.
Detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access the delivery terminal to process your orders and requests.
Hey, Sam. I've been waiting for you. Oh, picked up some lost cargo, I see. Should be a nice surprise.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I gotta say, Sam, you're looking pretty beat. You know you can borrow the private room whenever you want, right? Don't kill yourself for our sakes.
Order completed. Well done.
As I said before, there's something I need to tell you. It's about Lou. You see, after you left Bridges, I decided to do a little digging into BB-28's past. That is, Lou's. I found the BB decommissioning records. Now, according to them, BB-28 was flagged for disposal and subsequently incinerated 4 years ago, long before you and Lou first met.
That's BB-28?
This is the child officially identified as BB-28. But if you look closer, Sam, you see at once that it can't possibly be Lou. Right there at the elbow, where the birthmark should be. Nothing. Which means we have another BB-28 on our hands. The one with whom you memorably went west and back not so long ago. That is Lou. Per regulations, the serial number assigned to each BB was unique. No two units should have ever been assigned the same one. I've cross-checked the details with the most up-to-date entries in the UCA database. And indeed, there is no reason to believe BB-28 survived. All of which can only mean, Sam, that the bridge baby you carried with you on your journey across America, Lou, was never recorded in the official database. So, where then did Lou come from? Right now, your guess is as good as mine. But as worrying as that sounds, this could actually be to your advantage, since it's functionally impossible for the UCA or Bridges to track a BB of which they have no record. Which is lucky, because if they did know about a BB that could live and grow outside the pod, they'd want to secure it for study. So take comfort in the knowledge that they don't, that you're free, that you can bring up Lou in peace. How is it, by the way? The two of you living as a family. Right. I have gifts for you. A few things to take back home. An assortment of vaccines to be administered as your child grows up. We want Lou to live a long and healthy life. And it's natural for children to be afraid of shots. Maybe this will help put Lou's mind at ease. A token of my affection. You can collect it via the delivery terminal when you leave. I wonder how big Lou will get. Anyway, there's one more thing I wanted to share with you. As you know, everyone is meant to go to their own beach when they die. But unlike most people, I wasn't born from a mother. I was born from an artificial womb. Transplants provided the organs I never had. I was incomplete and had no beach, I believed. But I wasn't about to accept that. I went back home to study the Ha and Ka and the beach. I threw myself into my work, Sam. I tried. But I think I've done all that I can. In the end, I'm still a patchwork Frankenstein's monster. One that's just about worn out. As a doctor, I can tell you, I don't have long left. So I've devoted my remaining time to research. That's why I'm here, Sam. Where I can focus on the beach. There's so much data here, Sam. On beach formation, jumping via beaches, the relationship between the beach and placates. All the evidence you could ever wish for. Not enough to solve every mystery, perhaps, but enough for me to make an incredible personal discovery. That I have a beach after all. It doesn't matter how I was born. I have lived as a human. And thus do I possess a beach like any other. I am not a machine, but a person with a Ha and a Ka and a beach to go with them. Lastly, I have a confession for you, along with a heartfelt apology. I told you once that I didn't have dooms. But that's not actually true. Not that I was lying, you understand. I just didn't know. It was only after I found my beach that I realized. Chiral allergic reaction. I can feel it getting closer. I'm off to the beach, Sam. To my beach. Take care of yourself.
Sam.
Did you know about this?
No. It's news to me, too. I'm sorry that dead man is gone. But he would have been pleased that you managed to extend the UCA network all the way to his lab. Thank you, Sam.
I guess I'm homeward bound.
Missing little Lou that badly?
You know I am.
Come on back, Sam. Lou misses you too.